The UK Jazz Centre is based in Southend, my hometown, and I wanted to give you a whistle-stop and completely personal tour of some of my favourite things that are on display. The UK Jazz Centre started as an archive and remains one, but they now also have a wonderful museum showing many strange and wonderful artefacts, including this very special chair which has been owned by so many successful trumpet players. You can get the full story at the museum, but there's Bix, the first owner of the important chair. And next to him you can see this beautiful gramophone, more of those a bit later. Obviously, there are exhibits to commemorate various leading lights in jazz. Benny Goodman here, the amazing clarinetist. But it's not all about the past. We also have lots of performers coming every Saturday to entertain the crowds. And here's a little sweeping view. Beautiful pianola there, and the Louis Armstrong corner, including an Armstrong signature trumpet and a rather impressive bust of the man himself, although he does look a little ghostly in his filming. And there's one of our willing, knowledgeable and kind volunteers in the background, watched over by Louis. As well as being of interest to fans of music, this museum has so much for people who are interested in art and photography. And here we have another trumpet superstar, Humphrey Littleton. This is his desk with all sorts of memorabilia. And as you can see, programs, certificates, letters. And here's a photo of the man himself as he looked when I was fortunate enough to see him play at the Brentwood Centre many moons ago. And that's him receiving his honorary degree. So that's what we have on the left, the letter about his honorary degree. On the right, we have a letter inviting him to receive New Year's honours. And up here we have his very politely worded letter of refusal. Some absolutely personal and amazing exhibits here. I promised you more gramophones. This is a very special machine that was hard to source. This plays 1940s jazz records that were released in the war period, mainly in America. Lots of amazing live recordings. And this beauty uses a wooden stylus instead of a diamond tip one. Back to Louis Armstrong, because I wanted you to see some of these beautiful personal photographs. And as I was saying, this really is a museum for people who are fascinated by photography, anthropological anthropology, history of the people. That's what I'm trying to say. So much history. Just amazing documents of the era, as well as the key players at the time. Very fly on the wall, personal archives. There are many tomes of diaries and photographs in the archive section. And here we have an area dedicated to the 100 Club. And there's Digby Fairweather, who is responsible for the entire project. And it only felt fair to put in a plug for his book, which is all about the 100 Club, and is available from the Jazz Centre gift shop. I love this. Miscellaneous instrument, baritone saxophone. And here we have a very special local connection. This is a really great display. We have one tap shoe on the wall there. Unfortunately, the other one fell off, and we couldn't work out how to fix it when I was making this film. But this is a section dedicated to Will Gaines, a wonderful tap dancer. Look him up on YouTube and see him dancing in his heyday. But yes, the museum shows things about dance, about costume. It's about the entire culture of jazz, not just the music, as if that wouldn't have been enough. And here's Will Gaines tripping the light fantastic on the seafront, because he actually lived out his last days on Leon Sea. And there we go. That is the mission statement of the Jazz Centre. So here is the performance area. I mentioned earlier that they have live acts in every Saturday. Some absolutely amazing performers, world-class performers for very reasonable cost. And it's family friendly, it's very welcoming, and it's a lunchtime concert. However, if you prefer things a little more quiet, you can sit in these wonderful comfy chairs and read from our extensive library of jazz books. So, as you can see, the museum is organised by era, and there's a poster for Southend Rhythm Club. Jazz has always been a very big part of the culture around these parts. This is really a great place to have the Jazz Centre. And here we have something, a tambura, because this area is celebrating fusion and world instruments. And we also have this didgeridoo. We don't know why we have a didgeridoo. Someone donated it, and it seemed churlish not to just stick it in that corner. I mean, it looks good, but not aware of very many jazz records with didge on, but I'm sure some exist. And so many beautiful posters, and look, some wonderful saxophones. I couldn't get a close-up of those because of the reflections off the glass. This, however, is my favourite area. This is the Ronnie Scott area. And as you can see, many bits and bobs. And that is because the Jazz Centre was given his personal bag that he carries everywhere, or carried everywhere. The Ronnie Scott tote bag. Yes, I can't think of anything more intimate and personal than your gig bag. As you can see, many lids and ligatures and grease that we kind of expect. And his cleaner, his handwritten notes. And down here, look, he used Rico Reeds just like all the best players. That's validation, that is. And here we have a spitty old Reed. We could probably clone him from that. Cleo Lane here. This is the portrait that was painted by the winner of the Sky Arts Portrait Competition. She donated it to the centre because she's one of the patrons. And there is a section all about her and her late husband, John Dankworth, and all of their achievements. More local connections here. Tubby Hayes playing the Top Alex, which is the upstairs area of the Alex pub. Not really called Top Alex anymore. Local hero Snowboy. He does get a lot of recognition. And look, we've even got him in the case. Oh no, that's not him. That's someone else, Snowy. Come and see our shop. Yes, obviously. Now, I realise I keep changing whether I'm talking in the first or third person. That's because I do sometimes volunteer at this fine establishment. And look at all this vinyl, CDs. We've got a very professionally produced magazine, a really genuinely good read there, all about jazz history and contemporary musicians. So yes, whether you are interested in the wonderful history or the future of jazz, then this is a great place to check out. It's welcoming and comfortable. Look, we've even got jazz cushions. And yeah, I highly recommend everyone to come along. However, the Jazz Centre is in jeopardy at the moment. There are threats of closure from the council, who wish to remove us from the building. It is Britain's only cultural centre for jazz music. It needs protecting. It's special and precious. So please do support us any way you can. This is where you can find us in Southend, underneath the Beecroft Gallery in the basement. And you can also do this. Get on the internet, sign our petition, and you can find out all about the centre and the fine work that they do. Thank you ever so much. I hope you enjoyed this tour, and I hope it inspires you to come and have a look for yourselves.